Creating a calendar is creating the foundation for the next 30 to 31 days of your community. It directs what life is going to be like from the resident engagement department. It's a very important aspect of any activity director or life enrichment director's job. But often, people create their calendars in a copy and paste fashion. They review a little bit, but it's more about getting the calendar done. The importance is just creating it, not on making sure it's the best calendar that it can be. And it can be overwhelming for a lot of directors to create this because it's a huge responsibility. It really is. And there's not a lot of good resources to help people understand how to create calendars. But don't be nervous. The bar, unfortunately, has been set very, very, very low. As someone who looks at many activity calendars, I can tell you there's not a very high standard right now, and that's part of what we hope to change in Activity Planner Pro. So I'm going to outline how we recommend you create your calendars. Step 1, you have to know your data. Now, data comes in two forms, qualitative and quantitative. Your quantitative data is what's going to be on your dashboard with Activity Planner Pro. Your average activities per day, the average attendance per day, what your engagement multiplier is. These are going to give you the ideas of how are we actually doing on participation. Are we averaging 10 residents per activity? Are we averaging 50 participants total per day? How are we doing compared to last month? This allows you to track it. It'll also tell you what are your most popular categories of activities. Review that. Stay up to date with that. Listen to what it tells you, because an important aspect of activities in senior living is, you've heard the phrase, people vote with their wallet. Well, in senior living, we're dealing with people who are at the latter stages of their life, and they vote with their time. If your activities program is only getting 5% participation, 10% participation, no matter what the qualitative data tells you, you've got all the information you need. You know your program is lacking. Somewhere, somehow, your activities are not drawing the amount of people. They're not getting people interested. Now, the qualitative data. We have a survey on the website, Activity Planner Pro, that you can use, and we recommend you use that in your community. This survey will help give you some qualitative data. And this is actual phrases. These are the, I really like this activity. I wish we could do this. And that's very important because that can help you determine some of the quantitative data. It can also help you get good ideas for updating your future calendars. So keep those two metrics very handy, review them frequently, stay on top of that. It can feel burdensome at the beginning, but once you implement this over the course of a quarter, you'll start to see the results and how it actually makes your job easier, because the residents will tell you what they want. They will either tell you verbally or they'll tell you through their participation what they value and what they don't value. The key is you have to pay attention and make it a priority. So, step 1 to creating your calendar is know your data. Now, let's move to step 2. Start building your calendar. And you start with your daily anchors. So these are activities that you do every single day. Now, I recommend you limit the amount of activities you do every day because you only have so much time. And it's very common that these repeated activities can become bedrock activities that are beyond evaluation. And you'll find that activities that were really, really popular 6 months ago, they've started to get tired of. Participation starts dwindling. You don't see the same response or satisfaction from them. So always keep that data in mind to make sure they're not getting stale. Limit the amount of daily anchors, but you still have some. Some examples of this might be a daily happy hour, a daily exercise class. things like that. Now, once you have that, you need to go to your weekly anchors. And these are things that you do once a week, twice a week. The best example I can give to this is shopping trips. Let's say every Thursday at 1 p.m., we go to a local grocery store. And we switch it up every week to where we hit 4 different grocery stores in a month. And then maybe every Monday morning, we do a brunch outing at different local restaurants. You add those into your calendar. The residents count on them. They know they're there. It's a great activity. Finally, you move to your monthly anchors. And these monthly anchors, things like birthday parties. If you do the highly recommended monthly family parties, then you're going to have those. Anything that you can count on once a month, this is what we do. That forms your foundation of your calendar. Now, I recommend that you add in some scheduled specials to your calendar. And what this is it's something exciting that your residents will look forward to. Not necessarily the same thing like a shopping trip, but something like going to a local museum, going to a botanical gardens, going to an amusement park, going to the Cultural Performing Arts Center. Something that's really exciting, something that forms really good marketing material, and something that we can invite families out to. These are there for 3 reasons. 1, to make the residents' lives exciting, give them something to look forward to every month. 2, get great marketing material for your website and for your marketing team. And 3, include the families so they can see and participate in how wonderful your community is. It'll feel less like a facility and more like a community, and they'll be thinking how glad they are that they placed their loved one with you. So now that we've added our scheduled specials, we want to evaluate our calendar. And we evaluate it based on the 5 pillars. You have physical activities, you have cognitive activities, you have creative activities, you have social activities, and finally, you have spiritual activities. You do not want to shoot for 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%, and 20%. The amount that you have of each will depend on your demographic. One community in your portfolio might be younger, they might be more independent, and they might value physical activities more. You might have a different clientele at another community that's really into the arts and crafts, the 2D, 3D arts, musical arts, and you have a much stronger leaning towards that. You might have a community that is very religious based. Maybe you have a large portion of one demographic and they value a lot of church services, spiritual events, things like that. So what's important is not that you have an equal distribution, rather that you have something that hits all those categories. Ideally, you get something that hits those categories every single week. Now, once you've looked at your calendar, you've balanced it out based upon the categories. You have your daily anchors, your weekly anchors, you have your monthly anchors, you have your scheduled specials, and you're set. Now is the time where you look to add themes. Now, a theme can be a day, a theme can be a week, a theme can be a month. I'll give an example. Let's do something for a week. It's March Madness, basketball. I'm going to take some of my activities, let's say every day in our daily anchor, we have specifically exercise. I'm going to see how can I tweak these exercises to be themed towards basketball. And then let's say I have an art class where we're going to be painting a still life. Well, maybe we could set up a still life with a basketball and a jersey next to it, and we add in that theme. This is how you start making a calendar that feels cohesive. It doesn't feel like random activities that were put together every day. Rather, it feels intentional It feels based on your community's likes and dislikes, and it feels like you put time into it. In the same way, if we're doing March Madness, we might see, is there a local game we can go watch? Do we have a local team that's playing? You may not. You might have to do something where we watch a specific game and have a party with it and invite the families out. But when you think in terms of these themes, it helps your calendar have that coherence that most calendars lack in the industry. So now, we've got our themes. We've got our daily anchors. We've got our weekly anchors. We've got our monthly. We've got our scheduled specials. Our calendar looks great. We're ready to go. Very important, and almost everyone misses this step. Take your calendar, go to your administration and your marketing team. What you're going to do is you're going to say, here's our calendar. I'm very excited for this month. We're doing X, Y, and Z. Everyone's going to sit together, look at it, and determine what are the best events to invite families out to. They're then going to look at what are the best events to get great marketing material. Now, I do not have the pessimistic view of we're doing these events for marketing, but it would be irrational to hold wonderful events that make our residents' lives better and not share it. Not share it with our referral partners, not share it on our social media, not put it on our website, upcoming events, not share it with the families, not invite the families out to. We have a responsibility to share the great that we're doing in our community. And so by sitting down, the marketer can mark it on their calendar. The administrator can mark it on their calendar. They can be aware of what's going on. Marketers can schedule tours and make sure, oh, let me reference this. Let me tell them what's going on. They can even invite potential residents out to a certain event if they think it would be fun. And so this step is one of the most important steps that many people miss. But when we're working within the experience of daily living, we have an operational mindset of alignment between the departments. So now that everything's complete, we've done our daily anchors, our weekly anchors, our monthly anchors, our scheduled specials. We've made sure that we have a good variety of our pillars. We've added our themes. We've gone through administration and marketing. Boom. We can now publish our calendar. Now there is one important note. Your calendar does not have to stay static. If you had something planned and you had it repeated 3 times throughout the month, but you see after the first time, oh my goodness, this is not what we need to be doing. This was a disaster. Please change your calendar. Print out a new, just on the 8.5 by 11 paper, a new monthly calendar that shows those changes. With Activity Planner Pro, we make it easy to update and change your monthly calendar. You can print a week at a time. You can print a day at a time. Keep your calendar up to date and don't make an entire month based on a decision you made right before the beginning of the month. Feel free to adjust it as you need to. We built the program so that it makes it easy to do that. This is the easiest way to create a fantastic calendar that will set your community far above any of its competitors, and your residents will have a better life than anyone else in the area. I hope this helps.